ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय।
श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि।
रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्।
சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
श्रीमान वेंकटनाथार्य कवितार्किक केसरी वेदांताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि। रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यो वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्। சீரொன்று தோப்போந்திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்று சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஓரொன்று தானே அமையாதையும் வானேரம் போடவும் வாழ்வே.
We are taking up Tattva Sandesam, the new Ragasyam today. So, a repetition of the introduction is not innocuous.
ரகசிய சந்தேசம் இல்லையா? தத்துவ சந்தேசமா? ஓகே.
Tattva Sandesam. INNOCOUS. Yes, yeah. Swami, சொல்லுங்க.
இல்ல 90, அதாவது அதுவே நான் 3 பக்கம் தான். அதுவும் அது ஒரு கதை தான், அந்த இவருடைய கதை தான்.
108ல இருந்து 118. ஆமா, 11 பக்கம் தான். ரகசிய
82ல இருந்து 90 வரல.
ஓகே.
87 பக்கம் தான் இதுல போட்டுருக்கேன். அது 7 ஆச்சா? 7 பக்கம் தான் இதுல போட்டுருக்கேன்.
So let us begin in the right earnest. There was a king called Madhava. He was an astika, believer of God, and his son was also equally good. Sarvajna Shingappa Nayaka was the name of his son, and the son resorted to the divine feet of Swami Vedanta Deshika. He was a good disciple, so he wanted to know the three principles: Chetanam, Achetanam, and Ishvara. The sentient object, insentient object, and God, and rather leadership. He wanted to say know the original nature and the original attitudes, dispositions of the three principles. And he wanted to know them briefly because many books elaborately deal with them, and it's very difficult to go through all such big books. So he requested Swami Deshika, and then in order to cater to his academic needs, Swami Vedanta Deshika condescended with pity to tell him the Tattva Sandesam. Swadhina Trividhatyadi Vityadehe Abhiprayaha Prakashyate Kasyachite Tattvanishtasya Kankshita Pratipattaye. Now the Sriranga Gadyam of Sri Ramanujacharya starts with these words, Swadhina Trividha. What is the intention? What is the inner sense of the Lord, of the Lord in this concept? So now that opinion is being now publicized. Abhiprayaha prakashite. There may be somebody who is deeply involved in understanding the three principles, Tattva Nishtha, busy with always the thought of the three principles. Somebody, to fulfill his expectation and to make him confident in understanding these three principles, I am just giving you the essence of this tattva. This is a message. Tattva Sandesha. Sandesha is message. So he follows, Swami Vedanta Deshika follows two preceptors here. The earlier preceptors, namely Alavandar and Bhashyakara, that is Yamunacharya, Sri Yamunacharya and Sri Ramanujacharya. He says, Sarva Mantra Pradhanangalana. So there are so many, spells in scriptures, but there are very important spells. And those spells, namely what we call Ashtakshara Mantra, Dvaya Mantra, and Charma Shloka Mantra. So in these three Vyapaka mantras, in all these three, then you have Sarva Adhara Bhutana. One who is fundamental to everything. One who occupies the entire universe for all the objects in the world, both Nitya Vibhuti and Lila Vibhuti. So Sarva Shaririya Nitkira Nilayile, இவனை சுவாதீன திரிவித சேத்தன ஸ்வரூபஸ்திதி பிரவருத்தி பேதா என்று ஆளவந்தாரும் ஸ்ரீ பாஷ்யக்காரரும் அருளி செய்தார்கள். So though he is inside and outside, he is different from Kuratalman addresses the Lord straight away. Tava, your Ichataha, by the will, by your will only, eva, Vishwapadartha Satta, the permanent existence of, or the very existence of all the objects of this world is because of your will. So without his will, things will not be permanent. So இவற்றில் சொரூப ஆயத்தமாகையாலே, look at the letter M, சொரூபத்துக்கு வசப்பட்டன. Yes. So because the Lord has control over his own original form. So adheyatvamum. So adheyatvamum is what we call support. He only supports the whole universe. Of course, plus Nitya Vibhuti and Lila Vibhuti. So he is the Adhara Bhutam and therefore Adheyatvam. So he is a source, he is a base, he is a fundamental and so on. So Icha Ayattamahyale. So again, it is his will that controls the world. So Adhayatvodu Kuda Vidheyatva Sheshatvangal. So Adhayatvam, his source, support, is because of his will. He is ready to support because of his will. So Upadatte Satta Sthiti Niyamanadyehi Chit Achitau Swam Uddishya Shriman. We must find out where this quote occurs. So Shriman Upadatte, Shriman is Lord Sriman Narayana. Shri Vishishta Narayana Shriman.
சுவாமி ரங்கராஜஸ்தவம் கீழே போட்டுக்கோ.
Rangaraj. Very good. it is because of Parashara Bhatta. Upadatte, he accepts, you can say. Upadatte means he keeps it to himself. What? Satta Sthiti Nemanadi. No, he wants to, he has a control over everything. Therefore, the existence of Chit and Achit, namely Chetana and Achetana, with regard to himself, Swam Uddishya, depending upon his own, what we call, desire. So he makes the world, created world exist, Satta. Satta meaning truthful existence, real existence, that is Satta. Then existence is not enough, maintenance must be there, those sthiti, maintenance. So he maintains, he makes the world exist. Exist means exist truly. Now, this is the difference between our faith and the other faiths. They say the world is unreal, Jagan Mithya. Whereas we say Jagat is Satyam. Jagat is Satyam. So Satta is another word for Satyam. So truly existing. So second is Sthiti maintenance, and then Niyamana Dehi. He also issues orders. He gives instructions. So to the entire world. And the entire world, in a sense, these two are there are comprising of the world, namely Chit and Achit. Then depending on his own will, he did it. He does it. Sriman Upadatte. It's a present tense verb. Then Ishara Icha Upatangalayire, Ive Ivanukku Sheshangalahindan. Since all of them are under his control, will, all of them are subservient to the Lord, All of them, all the Chit and Achit, are called slaves to the Lord. In other words, servers of the Lord. Then we go to the next paragraph. Trividha Chetana ended. So what is three types of Chetana? So we already know this one. So Anuvritta Samsara Rayum. Anuvritta Samsara Rayum meaning because of the many births, the individual soul is always going through the cycle of birth and death. So then Nivritta Samsara Rayum. So having given up the cycle, having come out of the cycle of birth and death, he has stopped. There are some souls who have stopped the cycle. Stopped the cycle means they have come out of the cycle. That is because of the will of the God. Then samsara atyanta bhavavangalayum ulla. There are people who do not get connected with the life in this world. This is, I think, another term for muktatma. That's all. Totally, they are disconnected with this world. So samsara atyanta abhavavangalayum ulla. When individual souls have come, Nityasuri is generally is a term for all the residents of Vaikuntham. But we have specific three people only. As Adishesha, Garuda, and Vishwaksena are the called Nityasuris. Now we extend this meaning of Nityasuris, term of Nityasuris to all the residents of Vaikuntham. Meaning that, this is what it says. Anuvarta samsara is Baddha. Nivarta samsara, there's a middle stage. There's a middle stage between Mukta and Baddha. He says, samsara bandham neenga petravargal. Meaning, there is some stage in between the released souls and the fettered souls. That's what Vedanta Deshika wants us to understand through the preceptors of, through his preceptors, namely Yamunacharya, Ramanujacharya, Kodattadvan, and Parashara Bhatta. All the four preceptors. So Paratantra Chetanari Cholgaran. So all the individual souls are dependent. Paratantra Chetanari Cholgaran. So out of the Trivida Chetana, take even released souls. Samsara Atyanta Bhavavan is Muktatma. Say, let us say, understand this. Even Muktatma is under the control of the Lord. So please remember that. So even as residents of Vaikuntha, the released souls are under the control of Lord, under the will of the Lord. Then Baddha Chetana, Tangalukke, now, so Baddha Chetana, that's what we say, the souls which are caught in the, what we call, the mire of samsara, that is the worldly life in this world. Mukta Dashayahiyale, when they are about to become released souls, Dharmi Vedam Illaya Irukka. Dharmi Vedam is called, there is no difference between the Atma, the Jivatma, namely Baddha Jivatma and Mukta Jivatma. The original nature of the Atma is same. So only the surrounding, rather peripheral difference is there. Because what do we say is Jnanan Moksha. With regard to Bhagavad Gita, we say Jnanan Moksha. After getting wisdom, you get moksha. There is no time lag between getting knowledge and getting moksha. And therefore, we always say that Jivatma is full of knowledge. Jivatma is full of knowledge. He is wise. But the wisdom is not explicit. It is hidden. And why is it hidden? Because of 2 points that we say no. Maya, the illusion, or the what we call Shata, the air, which engulfs our knowledge, and then so our ignorance is more rampant, more prominent than the knowledge itself. Jivatma is exactly, I mean, he is wise, completely wise, but the wisdom is not seen. Therefore, dharmi bedam illaya, basic quality is not different. Basic quality between the fettered souls, chained souls, and in the released stage is not different. So Nityarikku pole, just like the permanent residents of Vaikuntha, Muktarukkum for the released souls also. So now we have some difference between Nitya and Mukta. Just now, as Keshav Das Swami said, Nitya Suri. Suri means a scholar. So we are talking about 3 people here, Garuda, Vishwaksena and Adishesha. So the difference between these 3 and the other released souls, Muktarukum, பத்தரில் காட்டில் அத்தியந்த வைஷமியம் தோற்றுகைக்காக ஜீவத்ரைவித்தியம் சொல்லப்படுகிறது. In order to understand the complete difference between the released souls and the fettered souls, ஜீவத்ரைவித்தியம் சொல்லப்படுகிறது. There are 3 types of chetanas, 3 types of jivatmas. That's what it says. So Trivida Shabdam Dvandvat Purvamahayale. The word Trividam, meaning varieties, 3 varieties, it is different. It is just before Adiyan Udhanwan also be part of Nitya Suri. Generally, he doesn't want to go to Vaikuntha. It is said about him, if Ramanama is not recited in Vaikuntham, I don't want to be there. That's what he said. And he wanted to be permanently in this world where Rama's name is recited. Yatra yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam Tatra Tatra Kritamasta Kanjali. Bashpavari Paripurna Lochanam Marutim Namata Rakshasantakam. That's the so Yatra yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam. His presence is where Rama's name is recited. That doesn't mean he is he is neither Nityasuri nor Baddha Jivatma. I think he can be in the middle category called, he is in the Mukta Dasha. The previous paragraph says Mukta Dasha. Baddha Chetanar Mukta Dashaile. That's what it says in Tamil. In the previous paragraph also, we have a middle stage between the fettered soul, chained soul, and the released soul. We saw that word, special word. So that is what we call samsara bandham ninga petravarhal. Sorry, samsara bandham ninga petravarhal. Number C, look at number C. So footnote C. So that is the middle stage in which Hanuman is placed. He is neither Nityasuri nor the fettered soul. That is dependent soul on this world, in this world. He is also called the Mukta. Okay. So now we have Trivid Shabdam Purvamahale, Achetana Shabdatod. Now we are now looking at the Achetanas. Dvandva to Purvamahale, meaning we started dividing the world into two types of objects, namely Dvandva, namely Chetana and Achetana. Again, the Chetana object has been divided into three types. Now you find Achetana is going to be divided. Now this the last verse in the page. Upadatte sattasthiti nemanaddehi chit achitto swam uddishya srimaniti vadati vak aupanishadi. Upayopeyatve tadiha tava tattvam natu gunau atastvam Sri Rangeshaya sharanam vyajam abhajam. Parashara Bhatta said in Sri Rangarajastavam 287, the first two lines, part of the first two lines are quoted in the text. Who says this? So, Upadatte Sattasthiti Nemanadder Vishwa Chit Achitau Swam Uddishya Sriman iti Vadati speaks. Who? Vak Upanishadi. Upanishads speak. Upanishads say that Lord Sriman Narayana, depending on his own attitude, treats the Chetana and Achetana to be permanently existing, truly existing, maintaining them in this world, and also in giving instructions to these two, Chetana and Achetana. So onrai, then again, Upaya Upayatve Tadiha Tava Tattvam. Whereas the highest principle is Lord Sriman Narayana, Tava Tattvam. That is what we call Ishvara Tattvam here. So here that Tava, your Tattvam principle, namely Ishvara Tattvam, it remains as Upaya Upayatve. Now, whatever desire the individual soul or even the insentient object has, the means to approach the goal is the Lord, Upaya. The destination is also the Lord. Therefore, Ishvara Tattva means, the principle of the leader means that he is the means and he is the goal. He is the destination. So, Gunav meaning in the quality. In the quality meaning in the characteristics. That is in attitude. So many qualities because it is Ananta Kalyana Guna. And therefore, Ataha, therefore, now Parashara Bhatta says, because you are the Upaya and you are the Upeya, because Upanishads say that according to your own will, you make the world exist truly, maintain the world, and then give instructions, etc. also. So many other actions also. I resort to abhajam. I resorted to. I already made a saranagati. I long ago I made total surrender. But tvam abhajam, I resorted to you just by the disguise of saranagati. He says what you call Sri Rangarajastavam by Parashara Bhatta gives what you call Naichyanusandhanam, that is self-abnegation, namely lowering oneself. lowering one's own status. What is that lowering one's own status? Meaning, I don't know how to fall at your feet also. I have been pushed by my preceptors to fall at your feet. I have been compelled to fall at your feet by my preceptors. Why? Swami Deshika says in Sristuti, Datto Yushmat Parijanataya Deshikaihi Api Ataha Tvam. Sristuti says to the goddess Mahalakshmi, Perundevi, Mahadevi in Kanchipuram, he says, Datto Yushmat Parijanataya Deshikaihi Api Ataha Tvam. Because my preceptors entrusted the responsibility of protecting me to you. That's what it says. Now, though out of compulsion, though out of what we call mandatory instruction, my preceptors pushed me to fall at your feet. I don't know how to fall at your feet. But I have understood the preceptor's view. I have clearly learned the concept from the preceptors. Because my preceptor is scripture here, Upanishad, the last part of the scripture, namely Upanishad, Jnana Kandam. So by this I have understood that you are everything. That's all. You are everything. You are the means, you are the destination, you are the Ishvara Tattva, the principle of leadership. And Sri Rangesha, though you appear here in the form of what we call Archarupam in Sri Rangam, you are reclining here. Sri Ranga Isha, Sri Ranga Isha, and Sri Range Shaya, one who is reclining, Shaya, one who is sleeping on the bed. So Sri Range in the middle of Sri Rangam. So Sharanam Avyajam Abhaj. So I have come to surrender to you. But there is no what we call mincing of matters. That's what it says, Avyajam. Avyajam. Meaning, I don't expect anything from you. I don't want anything from you except falling at the feet. I don't want to get moksha. I'm not interested in moksha. Swami Vedanta Deshika, following Parasara Bhatta, said, Vaikuntha Vase na me abhilashaha. Vaikuntha Vase api na me abhilashaha. In Varadaraja Panchashat, he says, I don't want to get into Vaikuntha because I want to enjoy the festivals of Lord Pranatartihara, Varadaraja in Kanchipuram. Toraga Vihagaraja Sandana Andolikadis Adhikamanyam Atma Shobham Dhanam. Because you shine better, more handsome in different vehicles. Toraga, horse, Kudurai Vahanam. Toraga Vihagaraja on Garuda, Vihagaraja. Sandana on the chariot. Ter, Rathotsava. Then Andolika on the swing, Unjal Utsava. In all this, I am seeing him more handsome, and therefore I don't want to get into Vaikuntha, he says. And therefore, just like that, Parasara Bhatta also says, I don't have any selfish motive. I want to surrender to you. So, ஒன்றை ஒரு வஸ்துவாக உண்டு பண்ணுவது. That's what it says, satta, creating something to exist, truly exist. உண்டானது மேலே நீடித்திருக்கும்படி செய்வது, maintaining its safety, welfare. அதை நியமனம் செய்வது, giving instructions to follow ஆகிய இந்த செயல் முதலியவற்றால் ஸ்ரீமான் பிராட்டியுடன் எம்பெருமான் சேத்தனர்களையும் அச்சேத்தனர்களையும் சித்து அச்சித்தவ் தன் பிரயோஜனத்துக்காகவே ஸ்வம் உத்திஷ்ய ஸ்வீகரிக்கிறான் என்று உபனிஷத்து கூறுகிறது. பாதத்தே ஆதலால், therefore ataha சேஷியா இருப்பதால், because you are the Paramapurusha, leader, ஈஸ்வர தத்துவம், எம்பெருமானே ஸ்ரீரங்கேஷய, நீ இந்த ஜீவன் விஷயத்தில் உபாயமாகவும் பலனாகவும் இருப்பது உன் சொரூபத்தால் ஏற்பட்டது. It is your original nature that you are the goal and you are the means, you are the road to go. So Vanderi Andru, you have not been compelled to become the leader. You have not been asked by somebody else that you must be the means of the Lord, means for the goal. By yourself, that is according to your own will, according to your own independence, you are there like this. Therefore, I resort to you. Now we go to the next page, 86. Anvaikirathu. Now we are going to see the Achetana. Trivida Achetanangal என்பவை. So what is Trivida Achetanangal? There are three types of insentient objects. So how are they divided? Vyakta, Avyakta காலங்கள் என்று சிலர் சொல்லுவார்கள். Some people say the division is based on the fold division is based on the times. So Vyakta, Avyakta. Vyakta generally meaning fixed time. Avyakta is unfixed time. So then அவர்களும் திரிகுண கால விலட்சணமான சுத்த சத்தரூப அச்சேதனத்தை. So Achetanam also has got a form called Shuddha Sattva, what is called made of pure quality. Then Ishvara Nirupanatile, in order that Lord is to be understood as the leader, Shubhashre Vigrahadi Rupa Visheshnamaha Chet Anusandipparhal. So we must meditate upon, if for example, this is only the form, Archa form, the temple figure, the divine temple figure, Divya Mangala Vigraha, the divine auspicious figure in the temple is to be taken as Shubha Ashraya, resorting to auspiciousness. So what resorts to auspiciousness? The Achetana, the insentient object, for example, stone, metal, calcium, chunambu. Chunam is in Sanskrit also. And then we have so many other materials, wood. So all the materials called achetanas, inert objects, still objects, different from chetana, sentient objects, they become pure in quality. Chalk, yes, chalk, right. Calcium, they say calcium carbonate or something. The chunam that we take along with the betel leaf, tambulam, that's what. Chalk is inedible. Chalk is inedible. So Shuddha Sattva Rupa Achetanatai, that is the Achetana also becomes Shuddha Sattva Rupa. Other words we can say Aprakrita Rupa, that is supernatural form. The insentient objects also take to supernatural form while they become the God's figure. This is only an example. So Nirupanatile Shubhashre Vigrahadi Rupa Visheshanamaha Cherth. So in order to understand that it is an adjective, it's what you call qualification. Qualification of the insentient objects to be what you call made of pure quality, Shuddha Sattvam, is to prove the Lordship. Because we feel that Lord is present in the divine auspicious figure in the temple. Why do we believe so? Because the ordinary status, dependent status of the Chetana has been elevated to the higher status of the principle of leadership. And because of the what you call auspicious substratum, Shubha Ashrayaha. Then Triguna Kala Shuddha Sattvangal and the Moonayam. So Triguna you have got three Sattva Rajas Tamas. Kala time, Shuddha Sattva again purer quality. So மூன்றையும் திருவித அச்சேதனங்கள் என்று சிலர் நிர்வகிப்பார்கள். Some people say that the three types of achetanas belong to these three categories, namely one category is made up of three guna, then second is time, The third is Aprakrita, Shuddha Sattva. So இவற்றை அச்சித்துக்கள் என்றும் அச்சேதனங்கள் என்றும் சொன்னது. Why do you say same terms in different words? Same meaning with different words. You said we call it achit, then achetanam. Why two words? ஞான ஆசிரயத்துவம் இல்லாமை அடியாக. So we wanted to make clear to the people, that is individual souls, that it has no knowledge. Chit means knowledge, achit means no knowledge. Chetanam is with knowledge, with wisdom. So achetanam is without wisdom. Now the question is, அப்ராகிருத அச்சித்து என்று ஒன்றை சொல்லலாமோ? Can you call achit as அப்ராகிருத achit? Because we already saw that the achit has become the divine figure in the temple, Divya Mangala Vigraha, and it is given what you call name of the Lord. Then we understand it is as powerful as the Lord. So the leadership quality is in that achit object. Can we say it is supernatural? Aprakrita achit. Salalama. The question is there. Then அப்ராகிருதமான ஆத்மாவை போல சித்தென்ன வேண்டாவோ? Once we say supernatural, can we not equate achit to chit? Can we not make both jivatma, the individual soul, full of knowledge, and achit, it has no knowledge, as equal? So என்ற சோத்தியத்திற்கு for this experiment, பிராகிருதங்கள் அன்றிக்கே அச்சித்துக்களாயிருக்கிற காலாதிகளை திருஷ்டாந்தமாக்கி பரிகாரம் சொல்லும். Why do you differentiate between Jivatma and Achit? When both of them have become what we call Shuddha Sattva, you understand all these terms very easily because we are repeating. Then, what is the basis to differentiate? Kaladigali Drishtantamaki. Make the example illustrate through time. Illustrate through time. So time is very important, that the Chetana is different from Achetana. Chit is different from Achit. Jivatma is different from, even though Aprakrita Achit, say for example, or Shuddha Sattva Achit. So Achetanatvam unda irukka. So when there is no knowledge, Achetanatvam, no wisdom irukka, ஞான ஸ்வரூபத்தை வச்சன பலத்தாலே தர்மபூத ஞானத்திற்கு போலே சுத்த சத்தத்திற்கும் சித்து சப்த வாச்சத்துவமும் உண்டு என்று சிலர் சொல்வார். The question is, when you call something aprakrita bar or shuddha sattva, both are same, aprakrita and shuddha sattva. If you call either chit or achit like this, then what is the basis on which we say this way? So it is jnana rupat. And vachana balattale, because of the word power, that is the vocabulary that we use. So dharma bhuta jnanatikku pole, dharma bhuta jnanam is a fundamental quality for recognition. How do we recognize one is jivatma and the other is achit? How do we say that one is wise, the other is not wise? How do we say that one is full of knowledge and the other is bereft of knowledge? So that is called dharma bhuta jnana. That is our understanding of the basic intrinsic quality. That's called dharma bhuta jnana. So Shuddha Sattvatirkum, Chitta Shabda Vachatirkum undu endru சிலர் சொல்வார்கள். He says, some people say that when you call an object Shuddha Sattvam, whether it is Chit or Achit, then both can be called Chit. That's what he says. Chit Shabda Vachatvam. We can call any object which is called Shuddha Sattvam, that is made up of pure quality, can be called knowledgeable, wise. So ஒரு ஞானத்தில் இங்கு அச்சேதனத்துவம், அச்சேதனத்துவம் ஒரு ஞானத்திற்கு ஆசிரியம் அல்லாத தர்மபூத ஞானத்திற்கும் சமானம். the insentient object, the nature of the insentient object, Achetanatvam, Oru Jnanathirku, Ashrayam illadu. It is not based upon knowledge. Once you say that something is unwise, it is not based on wisdom. Therefore, Dharma Buddha Jnanathirkum Samanam, the recognition of the very existence and the original nature of the insentient object is equal. That's all. So when we recognize, when Jivatma recognizes that this object is Achetanam, that is without knowledge, then the recognition is right. That's all. The recognition is good. So, Trivida Chetana Upapadanatile, Visheshanamaha Kondu, Visheshanamai Kondu, Pratipaditamahiale, Priya Chollapattadile. So, while we divided Chetana into three types, namely Baddha, Mukta Dasha, and Mukta, or same Baddha, Mukta, Nitya. Already has been explained, Pratipaditam. Now, we are not equaling Trivida Chetana to Trivida Achetana. So, Sarva Vastukalukum Sadharmimum Vaidharmimum Pramananetamahyale Yatha Pramanam Angikaryam. So, all objects, when we consider all objects, we must know the similarity and the differences. So, when we understand the similarities and the differences, they are already fixed. Pramana Niyatam. What is Pramanam? What is authoritative? Namely, Yatha Pramanam meaning scriptures, Smritis, Puranas, Itihasas, preceptors, works like Sri Rangarajastavam, Sri Vaikuntha Gadyam, Sri Sharana, Sri Sriranga Gadyam, then Parashara already said, Adavandar's Siddhi, Atma Siddhi. So these are all pramanas, these are all authorities. Therefore, it should be accepted. Angikaryam. We must accept Shastras. That's all. Shastram Pramanam. There is a statement, a very famous statement, Shashita Sriman Narayana. Therefore, Shastram is Pramanam.
Ramanujadaya Patram Jnana Vairagya Bhushanam Srimad Venkatanathāryam Vande Vedanta Dedikam. Kavitārkika-simhāya Kalyāna-guṇaṣālinē Śrīmate Venkatesāya Vedanta Gurave Namah. Vāritipatiropaga Pañcānana Parakrama Śrīman Venkatanathāya Irum Vijayatam Pudi Irodu Pul Venkadamudaya Parodu Orondrudane Maya Dharaniyil வாழ்வார்க்கு வனேர ஓமளவும்
ராமானுஜதயா பாத்ரம் ஞானவைராக்யபூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத்வேங்கடநாதார்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்ததேசிகம்.
कवितार्किकसिंहाय कल्याणगुणशालिने श्रीमते वेङ्कटेशाय वेदान्तगुरवे नमः.
சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான்
பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய. ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய. ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய. ஓம்